Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of What's in the Papers with me, Sister Edem, right here on Pigeon City. And today, just as the day before, what I have for you is not necessarily a news item, it's an article. And I picked this one because it's an area that is rarely talked about. It's really rarely talked about unless you're in that situation or with people who have experienced it. It never even crosses people's minds. And so today I picked out caregiver stress and burnout. It's an article written in the Daily Graphic. And yes, in the Daily Graphic, and it was written by Dr. Nana Esi Tete. Dr. Nana Esi Tete. And it's caregiver stress burnout. Let's get into it. The environment in which children grow is so important for their healthy development. For children with special needs, this environment largely consists of the adults who care for them. The role of such caregivers in fostering good physical and mental health is so crucial. By supporting such persons and helping to resolve the systemic inequities that these families face, we are helping to ensure that the environment the children are growing in is health promoting. The demands of caregiving can be exhausting and overwhelming for parents and families living with a child with a special need. You see why I picked this now? This person is even focusing on taking care of children with special needs, but there are people of all age groups that have special needs. They are teenagers, they are old people. So caregiving spans across, giving care to people of all ages, and it's all different depending on what age of person you're taking care of. And the burnout is real. Okay, so let's move on. She's focusing on children, like I said. Right. A child with a special need is one who requires extra care because of a physical challenge, mental impairment, speech and language impairment, emotional disability, or learning disability. These special children are different from children without impairment in that they are 25% more likely to be wasted, 35% more likely to be stunted, 24% less likely to receive early stimulation and responsive care, and 49% more likely to have never attended school. The sadness and difficulty that parents and families experience when they get to know about their children's disability can be traumatic. The dreams they had for these children seem shattered, and most parents are consumed by grief. Over time, the demands of the caregiving can make some parents antisocial as they give. Let's take it again.
Let's take it again.
Over time, the demands of caregiving can make some parents antisocial as they give all their time to their children. Some parents live with a guilty suspicion that it might be their fault for having such a child and live with a constant fear of what might happen next. They are stressed by unending visits to the hospital and therapies and that's where it's available. She has that in bracket. They may miss out on various social events because their child's disability prevents them from participating successfully. In the event where they make it to social functions, barring all accessible odds, they may encounter persons who even criticize and judge them for their kind of parenting without even knowing or understanding the child's disability. One major challenge is the strain on family finances. In most families in Ghana, at least one parent ends up giving up on their job in order to give maximum attention to their child. They are compelled to take such decisions in situations where there are no schools or specific places of care they can leave their child whilst they go to work. All these challenges and more, including disrupted spousal relationships. Let me take a second to talk about this. Okay, so we both have a child. The child is sick, and it's so stressful that you leave man or woman? How? Why? Well, okay, let's go on. All these challenges and more can take a toll on health and state of mind of caregivers, eventually leading to burnout. At this point, both the child and the caregiver suffer a lot. A burnout is a state of emotional, mental, and physical exhaustion. This is the reason such parents and families must be supported and encouraged to pay attention to self-care. I like to see you convince someone to take care of themselves when they are taking care of their child who has special needs. It's almost an impossible feat to tell them that take a minute, rest, and things like that. They know they need it, but that instinct to just care for this child over and above their own self, even with children that are not children with special needs, some parents, totally neglect themselves. So it's even more difficult asking a parent of a child with special needs to do so. But we are being advised here by Dr. Gezi Tete to do so. So are you going to do it? Are you? All right, let's move on. The first hurdle is to deal with the issue of acceptance. It is normal for parents and families to go through the process of grieving with the aim of attaining resolution of diagnosis. I mean, it makes sense. I'm not going through all of this and crying all about it just to come home and meet the same situation. You understand? Yeah, let's move on. This is the term used to describe the process of acceptance and coming to terms with the diagnosis of one's child, and pertains to parents' reaction and coping strategies of dealing with this new situation. To the final lap of the article. Parents and families must be supported through the initial period of denial. This may be followed by anger directed at anyone perceived to be worthy of blame. A period of bargaining then follows. There's a mix of depression as parents settle down, and they may occasionally feel a sense of acceptance. At every point in time, certain experiences may trigger any of these feelings. It is always best to have a psychologist at hand to support such families. This makes coping easier and bearable. I like that she acknowledges that it's not taking it away, it makes coping easier and bearable. So let's take her advice. She is Dr. Nana Esigezi Tete, and she's a child development expert and a fellow of 0 to 3 Academy. And the title of this article is Caregiver Stress and Burnout. Thank you, Dr. Nana Esigezi Tete, for this article. It was written in the Daily Graphic. I hope that you enjoyed this episode. I hope you learned something from it, to pay attention to people who are in such situation, to give them some support where need be, to stop your judgy looks and judgmental eyes when you see people with children that are, a bit extra to handle. And I'm speaking to myself here because I can't stand noisy children, erratic, I don't know, bad behavior. But where it's a case of special need, I mean, we should be more sensitive to the child and to the caregiver as well. All right, so that's it. It's been a caregiver burnout today, and I'm Sister Edem who read that article to you. You've been informed. Bye.